Yes. For the second week, Diva Antonio Brown makes what you mixing up. He is now filing for his second grievance against the NFL in effort to wear his helmet of choice.
Is he still on that?
He's still on it. The man shows up to practice, and once it's time to like put the pads on and everything, he just goes to the back.
All right, did he? He just need to let it go.
He does need to let it go. But see, here's the thing. I feel like this is just going to be, this is a bad marriage between the two. They already know how his attitude was in Pittsburgh, right? I mean, the man sat out the last game of the season because Ben Roethlisberger must have said something to him at practice. We're at a point where he got a 3-year extension with the Raiders. Fully guaranteed, so it's not as if they could just cut him. Because if they do that, that's dead money to the organization.
Right.
So they're SOL. They have to put up with these shenanigans for the next 3 years unless a team, and the team would extremely have to be desperate enough to want to trade for Antonio Brown and put up with his antics. And I think at this point, other teams and owners are really realizing the type of player that he is. Rich Eisen on the show earlier today pretty much called him out. It's basically like, yo, where's this kid who barely had any offers coming out of South Florida? Played at Central Michigan before he got a big contract.
It's real funny you talking about him because he was so beloved for your Steelers fans.
I mean, he's
nice.
What he did, yeah, he was putting up great numbers. I mean, for a guy who's 5'10", 5'11", really going out there and really balling his ass off, but let this money and what you're doing get to your head. It's like you really forgetting what you're really playing the game for. And I think for him, he's just playing the game to set records.
Okay, so what's the deal? Why don't they just let him wear the helmet? Like, why can't he wear
Because the
helmet?
thing is that they're trying to prevent players from getting these concussions. They already, they always lose these settlements to where they're dishing out billions of dollars.
So what is this thing with this helmet? Like, what kind of sentiment does it have, other than the fact that it's just something he wore forever? I don't get it.
I think it's just the style. It's probably the way it fits him. But I mean, if Tom Brady had to switch a helmet that he's been wearing, Aaron Rodgers had to do the same.
Think about if he's acting like this over helmet. Can you imagine him breaking up with a girlfriend?
Listen, well, you know
what I really like think about that. Like someone he was really like in love with, she just like dubbed him, and now he's just. I just can't imagine.
I can't imagine it. Well, it's not easy for him to dub. He only likes white women. His girl white.
All right, that don't mean that they could be quick to dub.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought about that. If he has
the new helmet, is the new helmet like safer than an old one?
I believe so. Of course, but then again, when you playing football, nothing's really safe.
Yeah,
nothing's really safe.
Because I'm like, man, I've been peeping the whole thing on ESPN, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right, I know it's a comfort thing, like you know what I'm saying, like
yeah.
But if it's a safety hazard or more of a safety hazard to have one over the other, the NFL gonna have to do what they want to do. This is second grievance he filed. I thought he was about to be like, you know what, I'm good, and then play. Then he came back and was like, yeah, I thought I was about to play. They go grievance number 2, hold it down. So I mean, he too nice. I think the man is real nice. So I want him to play. I want to see him play, but
he's really not trying to play over this helmet.
I mean, he willing to go. A lot of these players nowadays, they willing to go the extent, and I respect it. But
well, you know what they say, you gotta stand for something before for anything.
Right, so here's the thing. With the way he is, he's really putting himself in a situation to where he's going to go through what T.O. had to go through as far as, because I mean, we really look at what Antonio Brown is doing. He's putting up great numbers. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer, but he's shooting himself in the foot because it's going to take him a minute to get inducted into the Hall of Fame just off of his antics.
Oh, wow.
Just off of it. T.O. went through it, and T.O. numbers, he should have been a sure first ballot Hall of Famer.
I want to interview him. I just want to ask him that one question.
Who, Antonio Brown?
Yes.
Man, good luck with that interview.
Just ask him with this whole helmet thing. This is the second week in a row that we're bringing him up.
He just got to do better, man. Yeah. Moving on, Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott didn't find Jerry Jones' comment, Zeke who, amusing but disrespectful. So over the weekend, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, they had the preseason game, and backup running back had a solid game. It wasn't like he put up 180 yards rushing or anything, but I believe he had about 40-something, maybe 54 at most rushing yards with some receiving yards to go with it. And, of course, Jerry Jones is looking at it like Zeke, calling it a joke, but more so wanting people to understand that if one player isn't here, the next person has to step up. Well, the running back did state that if he doesn't have a new contract extension before the season starts, that he will sit out the entire season. They still have to re-sign their quarterback, Dak Prescott, and they still have to re-sign their wide receiver, Mari Cooper. So, who do you give the money to first? Because we all know quarterback has to lead the team. But do you really bank on Dak Prescott being the future of the Dallas Cowboys? I got to ask the question to you because...
Look, I ain't been watching football in 3 years. We going to talk more about the NFL.
Y'all know how I feel about Jerry Jones anyway. I don't
I
really
don't know how you feel. Okay, you don't like...
I don't really like Cuz. I'm not a Cowboys fan, for one.
Me neither.
But aside from that, as an owner, I don't really like how Jerry Jones does a lot of the business that he does and how he treats his players sometimes.
Jerry Jones really has like a slave master mentality.
The NFL in general.
He's such a popular owner that it's more blatant that, it seems like that. So, Dak, I really like Dak and I really like Zeke. But I know Dak can't do it alone. I know Zeke can't do it alone. You kind of need them together.
Yeah.
You at least need some weapons for Dak, and you need some some protection for Zeke. But at the same time, they playing for your org. You should be looking out for them. They're his best players. Like that's obvious. At the very least, make something happen for them. Don't be out here making these little side-handed ass jokes. When you're supposed to be negotiating for your players. And because the goal is it's a whole fan base that want to win. They want to see their team win another Super Bowl. And they looking at you hindering that because your best players, you doing some. My man's is in Cabo chilling right now.
Now, here's an interesting question. If Zeke sits out the entire season, this might really give the Cowboys an opportunity to see how Dak Prescott plays.
Yeah.
And because pretty much the pressure is now going to be on him.
Yeah.
They know they don't have a good, solid backup running back to replace Zeke. So now it's just like all the pressure is on Dak at this point. So now you really have to prove if you could carry this team as a quarterback.
And for the kind of quarterback that he is, they still got their wide receiver. Who's their wide receiver? Was it
Amari Cooper?
They still got Amari, right?
Yeah, they still got him.
So
he still has to get a contract extension too.
Yeah, but man, we gonna see how that go.
Yeah,
because you got a decent enough quarterback, and you got his weapons. Once you start to affect his weapons, it's gonna start to affect his job, and then he gonna have that mindset like, oh, you can't even do your job how I want you to do it, and he gonna be like, bro, you took away my weapons. Then what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
so
it's tough, man. It's a tough business out here. Very tough. RIP to former University of Texas running back and Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, and Green Bay Packers, Cedric Benson, who passed away over the weekend in a motorcycle accident. So we're sending our condolences to the family and friends of Cedric Benson. That's just sad, man. That's why I can't mess with bikes, yo. I'm not even gonna front.
Yeah, that is sad.
I mean, any vehicle is dangerous, but motorcycle itself, just can't, man. Just can't. Moving on to some NBA news. A little stressed out. Yeah, sorry guys for the dramatics, but another devastating injury for DeMarcus Cousins, aka Boogie Cousins, who was just signed to the Los Angeles Lakers over the summer on a 1-year deal. He suffered his third injury in the last 2 years, tearing his ACL, keep him out for the entire season.
Dang.
So at this point, it's now becoming it could be a what if factor for his career. Because at this point, he's not getting a max deal from any team.
No.
after coming back from this injury. You know, he's no longer
and how old
in
is
that
he?
bracket. He's what, 26, 27?
Right.
He getting up there, just about. Well, that's kind of up there compared to some other.
But the last 2 years,
Yeah, I know.
he suffered major injuries.
Yeah.
Like, it's not nothing, you know, to where it was minor, little finger, and like these are major injuries. So you're now going to have to really think about your future at this
You
point.
always have to, because again,
You always
know
have
that
to,
you'll
yeah.
always run a risk of being injured, and it could be a
But
devastating injury.
it's
It sucks.
crazy because now it really put the Lakers in a tough spot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It really put the Lakers in a tough spot. Reason being is because you know how you try to move on, get into a new relationship with new people, experiencing new things. Something bad happens and it's like, damn, you got to pick up the phone and hit them with the hey big head. That's what the Los Angeles Lakers are going to have to do. And of course, Dwight Howard is in the mix. I really don't want to bring him back to LA, but at this point, we definitely need someone to fill that huge gap of
Why
loss.
are you not excited?
Listen, Dwight Howard just isn't Dwight Howard anymore.
He ain't been Dwight Howard in about 10 years.
Yeah, seriously.
Like literally the very next season after his team when he was in Orlando.
Yep.
Lost to the Lakers in the finals.
He hasn't been right since.
He hasn't been right ever since.
He has not been right since. And I mean,
On purpose.
yeah.
Because I almost said a curse word. Because
Which is like rare for you, see. Well, at least on the show.
Because he feels like and felt like it was too much pressure on him as a player for organizations, his teammates and stuff, to expect him to be nice. Pretty much. It's like, how dare you expect me to lead this team to the NBA Finals? That's too much pressure. It's unfair. Even though I literally just did that. We lost, but I got him there. And I beat LeBron James along the way. I beat the Celtics, who were the defending champions, along the way. But how dare you expect me to be good enough? Oh, yeah, I am Defensive Player of the Year. I'm averaging like 26 and 14 or something like that.
Right.
But how dare you expect me to be nice? Mm-hmm. Then you go and play with niggas. You go and play with people like Kobe to be like, you know, Kobe played with Shaq. Mm-hmm. Dwight Howard was supposed to be the next guy in line to be the most dominant big man in the league after Shaq.
Yep.
And he literally like tucked his tail in his leg and was like, I'm good. Even Shaq was like, he can't have the Superman title. I'm still Superman, even though I retired. He gave it to Giannis by now.
Yeah, he definitely
Giannis
did.
earned it.
Yeah.
But nobody, even no teams in the NBA even want Dwight in their locker room.
Yeah,
like
they really don't.
They literally did a vote. Every team was like, no, we would rather not have him.
Didn't they say he was gay?
Listen,
or allegedly?
You know, the whole trans thing. I don't know, yo. I don't know.
I mean, if he
I
is,
don't
he
know
can stand in his truth. It's okay. It's 2019.
I mean, if he is,
yeah,
hey,
cool.
do
Whatever
your
rocks
thing.
your-
You
yeah,
know what
whatever
I'm
floats his boat, man. I just recall that was a thing.
But I don't know.
But,
I'm really not for it because I feel like at this point, if they were to bring him back, he's going to be even more lax because he's playing with LeBron. It's not like he's playing with Kobe. Kobe was digging in his ass. Pause. Yo.
He may not say pause.
Called him soft. Like, yeah, you are soft. Like, seriously, what you put on a Lakers uniform, you're playing for a prestigious franchise. You go out there and give it your all. Dwight Howard, he not it. He just need to call it quits, to be honest with you. That's how I feel.
And go live with his boyfriend?
I would rather us bring in a 42-year-old Vince
making
Carter than to
jokes.
bring in Dwight Howard.
They said they was looking at Gortat. They was looking at Dwight Howard. They was looking at Joakim Noah and like Mo Space.
Yeah, I don't see, and Joakim Noah too, man.
I like the energy Joakim could bring. You know, he a former Bull, so
Yeah.
I know what he does aside from like being on the court, what he can do for the locker room. But I also know he does not get along with LeBron James.
Yeah, nah,
So
he
I don't
definitely
think that'd
doesn't.
be a good idea.
Definitely doesn't.
And
At all.
Gortat and Mo Space. I mean, I guess I'm advocating for Mo Space because Gortat. Yeah, nah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that, man. Moving on, college football starts this weekend. So you got unranked Miami taking on number 8 ranked Florida. Who's you picking that? It's gonna be a good matchup.
It is. It's the battle, the battle of the whole state. But dang, do I want to rock with the U? Do I want to rock with Florida? Oh no, I might. I don't know. I might just rock with the U on this one.
For real?
Maybe. I don't know. Florida been nice.
Yeah.
Miami been back on the rise, but I don't know, man. I think I might be rooting for the underdog here.
All right. I'm gonna go with Florida, but Florida by 3.
Ooh. So this is a good game, is what you're pretty much saying.
It's gonna be a good game, but Florida by 3. Who you got?
I don't know.
Just take a wild guess, man. Just say a team.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say a team. I'll sound dumb.
We just said the team, so you can't sound dumb.
You can't lose either.
No,
It's
I
Miami
feel like I
against Florida.
Know the stuff before I say a team. Just not to be saying team to say a team. Like
But
I
you
really
wanna
want
know
to
the
be in
name
the
of
know.
the team?
No, I just don't want to know the name of the team. I want to know like what's going on with the teams. So I'd be like, all right, that's a good pick. So move on. I actually am a real fan of Nas though. Shout out
my gosh,
to Nasty
man.
Nas, man.
Moving on to some entertainment. So it's been reported that Jamie Foxx and his longtime girlfriend Katie Holmes called it quits over the weekend.
Did they call it quits? Were they ever really dating? Because it was always alleged.
They kept it on the low. They was definitely dating.
I love
They was
their,
together for 6
No,
years.
let me tell you, they were really good at keeping it on like the low for the most part. I mean, again, I made the point just because you see people together does not mean they're together.
At this point, you could tell if somebody together or not.
But we really didn't see them like that. We seen them at like award shows, but we didn't see them out and about like that. I don't recall seeing them like in pictures. You
gonna pull up with a dude that you not messing with at the award show? I know I ain't pulling up with no girl I don't mess with at the award show. I'd rather go solo.
Okay, so no, because we had this question about would you pull up with somebody at a wedding? Some people they will have a friend they could pull up with. Didn't necessarily mean they're together with someone they go to a wedding. I disagreed, but y'all were saying otherwise. I said more than likely, cause we had a conversation about if you like. You remember the conversation I had about the guy and he brought this girl and he was saying like it's not like that, but he brought her to the wedding and a family wedding at that.
Was it like that though?
I said he was fronting. I think it was like that, but the point
What
is,
you think?
y'all were saying like it could be. You don't necessarily have to be together, and we just made this point 2 weeks ago how you can be out with someone and it doesn't necessarily mean they're together. So
But for 6 years. So if you see me out with a girl for the next 6 years, you know you gonna think I'm messing with her.
I would think you messed with her way before them, but that's just
doesn't
that
matter.
doesn't mean though. The point is, I think they did like they wasn't really out and about like that. So,
But
no.
yeah, either way. But over the weekend was spotted with a nice little younger,
yeah, so
less wrinkles, but
Katie
still
Holmes
white.
Don't look that. No, she was a black girl.
She wasn't black.
She was black. I seen the picture. She was like, she was not white though.
Isn't she an artist? An artist?
Let me see. Let me pull up this
Which is
picture.
Allegedly.
Which is
She
possible.
wasn't white though.
She not?
No.
How you know she black?
Okay, she may not be black, but she definitely look white.
So
She's
why was black the
something.
first thing that popped into your head?
Because initially when I seen the picture, she was like a darker skin. I don't know. She just didn't look white.
No, she was not a darker skin.
She did not. What pictures
She
y'all
just looked like
looking
she
at?
goes tanning. She gives me white.
No, I'm gonna look at this picture.
Either way
right
it go,
now.
man. Shout out to him, yo. I just want to sit down and talk to some of these celebs and athletes, and really just ask them, what is it about the white community that makes you guys,
Man.
that's all I want to know. That's really all I want to know.
What was the question? So I'm still
What
trying
makes
to look up.
like black athletes and celebs just want to dip it to the cream?
Because I just think it's more of a variety for them. I just think that's just more variety. I mean, or he may just like the mayonnaise. I don't know. A lot of them like the mayo, the Hellman's mayo. It's okay. You like the mayo?
Nah.
See, you like the mayo? We know
See,
you
and
don't like the
it
mayo.
always be the y'all women, y'all chocolate brothers. The chocolate brothers always liking the white women. See, the light skinned
It
brothers,
is-
we just
you
like
know what,
light
let me
skinned
just
women
say
or
that.
dark
If
skinned
people-
women.
If they want to date white women, there's nothing wrong with that. What's that? What's true?
Brown skinned brothers like white girls more. Usually light skinned brothers don't.
See, and the light skinned brothers, we just like the girls with the good hair. Psych. No, I'm playing.
Look, if they want to date white, hey,
Listen,
let them date white.
white ain't right. Jordan Woods learned that. See, she living her best life. She had to come back to the black side and realize, like, yeah, you know what? White ain't right.
But if it were not for, let's just say she has some, a little bit of fame and notoriety, but the Kardashians did put up. Because she wasn't rolling with Kylie like that, so she wouldn't have gotten as noticed. So we can say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But shout out that she out here glowing, looking mad good.
Good for Jordan. She doing her thing. I'm glad that she didn't let the scandal get the best of her.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You're right.
She moved on. She did what she had to do. Slept with her best friend's sister's man and dipped.
First of all, she did not sleep with him. From what we don't know.
How you know?
I said, okay, I just said we don't know.
You always trying to defend somebody.
Because she said she kissed him. And you going to try to say she slept with him. Don't be trying
Bill
to
Clinton said he did not have sexual relations with that woman. And guess what? What'd he do?
He was referring to sexual intercourse. He ain't never say he ain't get head.
That ain't sexual intercourse?
Okay, did y'all really expect him to be out and about and just say, yeah, she gave me some head? Did y'all really expect that?
Did you really expect Jordan Woods to say, yeah, I slept with Tristan?
No, but then don't say nothing. And don't be like, oh, I kissed him and that's it. Just to be like, no, I ain't do nothing. Deny. Y'all brothers know that, right? You going to say, oh, I kissed him, but I ain't. You might as well just say you just slept with him. That's dumb. That's my whole point. At least Bill said he ain't had no sexual relations. That's the difference.
They both lied.
They probably are. The point is, don't say you kissed him. Like, that's just dumb. If you did everything, I don't know. This is my take.
Oh, man. So, moving on. We got some news. I'm not sure if you guys caught it today. It's been a busy day here. But there's a new California law that says police should kill only when necessary.
Oh. Wow.
Well,
how do they
define only when necessary?
So here's what it is. So police officers in California will be required to use lethal force only as a necessary response to a threat, not merely as an objectively reasonable one.
Okay.
And it was due to the fact, so you remember when police had chased a man down and shot him in his grandmother's backyard like a year ago? They said he had a gun, but it was a cell phone in his hand.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Do better. But yeah, so that's the reason why they passed this law.
Shout out to Cali though. They're a really, really, really liberal.
But I'm just trying to figure out, like, necessary.
Right, so they didn't define what necessary means.
Nah.
Okay. Right, so they can just say, well, I thought it was necessary to do X and X, and it still can be a back and forth thing. So they need to really specify what does necessary entail.
So I guess
I see where they're trying to go with it, but they need to be a little bit more specific in the law.
Wasn't that already the law anyway? Like everywhere, only shoot when necessary.
You would think that's what they do in training.
Right.
Right, AKA.
I guess that's when they feel it's necessary.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they did nothing.
Yeah. So I really don't know how this is going to pan out, how it'll work. For at the end of the day, cops will still abuse their power of authority no matter what.
Will, until they have more stricter
We're gonna see how it's enforced.
Law. Go ahead.
We're gonna see how it's enforced because if they want to say it unless it's necessary, and we can blatantly see as we have been seeing for years, decades even.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna use that law too. Oh well, it was necessary. Right. I felt threatened.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna see how they prosecute it.
Everybody always feels threatened.
Right.
In a sense like that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I've been seeing a whole Popeye's chicken, and they even did comparisons with the chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison with Chick-fil-A, you a Chick-fil-A Love her.
Right.
Yeah. So, have y'all tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich? One, is it as good as people are saying? And two, does it dethrone the amazing Chick-fil-A sandwich?
You tried it?
I ain't tried a Popeyes one.
Okay, I just tried it Saturday.
How is it?
And if you love Popeye's chicken, you're gonna love this sandwich. I love Popeye's chicken. I love the sandwich.
Is it better than Chick-fil-A?
Do I think it's better than Chick-fil-A? I told myself I was going to go back and get a sandwich from both so I can try it at the same time. Because Chick-fil-A sandwich is good. Popeye's sandwich is good. I feel like I like Popeye's chicken better than I like Chick-fil-A because they're not like a chicken spot. They're a chicken sandwich spot.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're a chicken sandwich spot could put their sandwich over. I don't know. Neither one of them is bad. Me personally, I kind of felt like the first few times I had Chick-fil-A, it was a little overrated.
I agree when I was eating meat.
I had to realize when I was eating meat. I had to
Hey, yo.
Pause on that. Y'all know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I want to eat the chicken so I can try the Popeye sandwich. Damn it.
What I was saying though was
That sounded horrible.
I had to check myself because one thing I do realize is nothing in life ever lives up to the hype. That's literally the purpose of hype, which is why I hate it. Because
that's why I asked.
it can be a 10 out of 10. But if you got 100 people saying it's a 10 out of 10, it's going to be one person whose sole purpose is to just prove it's not a 10 out of 10.
Facts.
Even if it really is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I had it. All y'all said it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's a 0 out of 10. Just because y'all made it seem like it was the best thing ever to happen in life. And it ain't that. That's how people do stuff.
But you feel like it's good enough. Like
I
everybody needs
think
to go
it's
and try it. So, because everybody's been like talking about it. So all over my timeline. It's
You know
been
what? I
wild.
think I will.
Have you seen that too?
Yeah, I've seen it all on my.
Popeye's around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
I think I
can't
will try it.
Damn it! Y'all gotta tell me it sucks.
Oh yeah, because she can't eat meat.
Oh,
Not
the
that I
irony
can't.
that you
I don't
asked the
eat
question
meat.
though.
Right.
Huh?
I said
Because I've been seeing it
I know
everywhere, so I
you've
just
been
wanted to
seeing
see
it. I
if
know you've
y'all
been
like
seeing it.
if
I
y'all
kind of
tried
want to.
it.
Yeah, I just want. I think that's some fat ish to do though. But I want to compare that Wendy's chicken sandwich and Chick-fil-A's.
I heard about Wendy's. You know what?
Wendy's chicken sandwich is
I
good
mean,
too.
I wouldn't be opposed to doing that on the Mixx. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that.
Can y'all just give me some
So you know
fries
what? So next week we're gonna have the chicken sandwiches laid out.
We had a chicken sandwich laid out.
All right, so make sure you're in the mix
it's
with us
gonna
next
be
week.
like-
We're
Yeah,
gonna have
get
the
us some
spread.
fries.
Just give me some fries and
Get
I'll
you
be
some
good.
fries. All right, now who got the better fries? Checkers, Chick-fil-A.
All right,
Or
Chick-fil-A is not
Popeyes.
even in the mix. I would say Popeyes had the best.
You bugging?
Over
No,
Checkers.
Checkers.
Checkers to
They
me
kinda got
used
the
to be
same.
good to me. I don't
kinda
know.
got the
Not-
same, but I
Checkers
think
is the
Checkers-
old Rally's fries though.
They used
Yeah,
back in the day.
I
They
think
used
I
to be
might
good
go
to
with
me. I
Checkers.
don't like them like that no
Almost the
more.
same. It is
Right,
almost the
I
same.
agree. We are, even though Ken over there, we agree
Oh,
that you know I had to call him
ooh.
Ken, but I agree with you. Checkers used to be bomb fries. They don't taste as good to me anymore. I don't know. I used to love them back in the day. So Popeyes would win. Why did you throw Chick-fil-A in the mix? Like their fries is regular. You were so biased
People like
with
them
Chick-fil-A.
waffle fries.
I know he
Waffle fries is bomb.
I said
With the
they're
Chick-fil-A
good, but I
sauce?
feel like they not as good as the seasoned fries.
Nah, they not. That's why I
That's
said
what I said.
Checkers.
I said, how did you put Chick-fil-A between Checkers and Popeyes?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I was just trying to give you some options.
Nah, between Checkers and Popeyes.
Yo, but I guarantee she gonna eat all three of them too, y'all. So make sure y'all in the mix to see that. She will eat up.
I would.
Aaron, are you go? You know Aaron in on this. What you gonna eat with us too? Yeah, you know she gonna eat with us. Moving on, cause you know we still have a nice discussion for you guys. That's why we didn't bring it up and what you mixing up because we had to save it for shop talk, of course, man. So you know your boy is back.
Oh yeah.
Back like cook crack. So we just gonna turn the floor over now to Chi-Town's finest and hold things down.
Oh my God. Listen, I was doing what I was doing. You know, I was back in the shot doing what I was doing. I came back. You know, shout out to my brother, his engagement. And
Big shout
you know,
out to them.
the streets was talking. You know how I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I keep my ear to the street, the clippers to them heads. Keep the clippers to them heads, ear to the street. However you want to do it. And people was talking, and the main thing people was talking about is Jay-Z and his deal with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I got
That's
something
been
to
the
say.
talk. You know that's been the talk.
Oh my God, I got something to say because we can clap it. Listen.
All right, hold up. Before you even go there, real quick,
Because I'm going all the way there. What you got?
Typically, I seem to have the unpopular opinion, and I accept that. But usually, I'm cool with that. In this case, I have some people, a lot of people actually, that will agree with me. Continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know which opinion is the unpopular opinion because I feel like it's damn near 50-50. People saying it's a bad idea and people saying it's a great idea. And
Okay.
I want to hear what everybody has to say.
Okay.
Me personally, I've done research on this, as much research as I can because they haven't
Yeah, so
released
please,
any
break
details.
it down, the
They haven't
actual
released-
partnership
they
deal.
haven't done any details, really.
Okay, so what exactly is the deal? So people can get an understanding.
They haven't really discussed exactly what the deal is, but it's a partnership. With matter of fact, I'm about to read off some of the stuff that it says. It's a partnership though with Jay-Z and Rock Nation, which is his brand, and the NFL, and so it says, Jay-Z's record label, they announced they would team up with the NFL's Inspire Change Project, which supports programs to address education, economic advancement, criminal justice reform, and police and community relations. And Jay-Z, he said in one of his press conferences that he cited the league's global reach because that everybody around the world pretty much watch the NFL. That he wants to use that as a means to inspire change across the country. You know what I'm saying, United States. So pretty much, I guess another part of the deal would be that he could get a part ownership stake in one of the teams.
Like what? Like 1%? Like he had the Mixx?
It
I mean the Nets.
Yeah, significant.
What is that?
First of all, when you have teams that are worth billions of dollars, even 1% owning some of that is a lot.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 3%.
Yeah, they can't give him a majority stake because he would have to buy it from one of the
Right,
owners.
I'm saying
And
he doesn't have.
the owner would have to give it to him. The NFL, you got the NFL, then you got the owners of the teams, right? So I think one of the percentages that I said people can go and look it up themselves is like outwards to 10%, which is significant. So moving forward from that, my take. I personally, and I've had conversations with several people in several situations, and I've greatly debated against every point that they had.
Hold
just
on,
to
do I have to
understand.
throw the rock sign up?
I mean, listen, I personally do not see.
Please don't ever do that again.
I personally do not see how anybody can look at this deal as a bad thing.
I don't see it. I don't see it either.
I don't even see how you could see it as a bad thing. For one, not knowing what the deal is. For two, even reading off what I just said, they about like what the purpose of the deal is, like the points that they trying to get at, which is things that I thought we wanted to.
I'll change the narrative.
You know why they're looking at it as a bad deal? The ones that are looking at it as a bad deal are the ones who stopped watching football. Right,
Correct.
and because
which ones? Because most of them still watch it.
Exactly, and the ones that are screaming, well, Colin still doesn't have a job.
Even if Colin got a job,
we're aware of Colin not having a job. Colin isn't broke. Need people to understand that his main purpose was to bring awareness, and then people are trying to and
you guys are missing a major
we're not.
point.
Definitely
y'all really
not.
are.
What are we missing?
Okay, what do y'all expect change? Okay, Jay-Z took this outside of the entertainment aspect, right?
Not
What-
really, but
what change?
it's not outside of it. It's part of it.
That's why he's got the deal.
What change are we
Yeah.
expecting from this deal for
Which
the black community? Which is why he's saying he took it.
So automatically,
change?
there's a connotation in your question that you don't expect to change,
No,
and that's a part of the problem right there.
the thing is, what did they do differently they couldn't have implemented 3 years ago when this movement began? One, and before you answer that, number two, how are you advocating for social justice reform and you blackball the man who started social justice reform?
he didn't blackball him.
And he didn't start social justice reform. What are you talking about?
If you're advocating for that, which is why he kneeled in the first place.
No,
They
that's not why he
maintain-
kneeled.
Why did
No.
he not? Why did he not kneel for talking about what's going on? Police brutality, all of that.
You saying something? You saying like a lot of different things.
Okay, but so why did he kneel?
You can't throw a dart on the board and then put a bullseye
So
around it
listen.
after you threw the dart. Now you're trying to dress him up to be something totally
why-
different than
so
what he
why
is.
did Kaepernick kneel?
From what he said, it was about police brutality and
Yeah.
the way that people
And
were
racism.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he was bringing awareness to do what?
No, he was just bringing
Are you
awareness.
asking that for-
He's not had any ideas. He has not had any solutions. He just wanted to bring awareness.
Sure. Okay.
So are you asking to bring awareness for what? Is that a question for Colin
So
Kaepernick?
no. So he's bringing in essence, he's bringing awareness about bringing change to what?
No, that's not.
Who-
He
who
just wanted
you-
to bring awareness. We
what do
already
we-
aware.
no,
he didn't
wait,
tell us
Wait,
nothing
who's
we
the
didn't
question
know.
in regards to
Yeah, is it in
Kaepernick or
regards to
I'm
Jay-Z?
saying, okay,
Yeah.
no, to Kaepernick.
Kaepernick didn't.
So are you saying Kaepernick didn't do anything by kneeling?
No. I'm saying Kaepernick kneeled for what? What did he
To
kneel
condemn
for?
racism and police brutality.
And what did the NFL do?
Symbolic.
The
It was
NFL
symbolic.
changed the narrative from that to being disrespectful to the troops.
Okay.
And then they
So
blackballed
blackballed
for
him,
that.
and then they were also penalizing players to continue to protest for the same cause.
They did.
So now,
They-
3 years later, you want to hire Jay-Z to now be the champion for social justice.
Champion? Did
I mean,
whatever
did
word
the
you wanna
president
use.
change the
Yeah.
narrative, or did the NFL change the narrative?
The
The
NFL tried
president
to
changed
silence
the
the
narrative.
movement.
Both. It
That's
was
what I'm
both,
saying.
but
Yeah.
The
started with the
NFL
president.
silenced the movement because if they were really
They
about
tried to silence
they
it.
tried to silence
Yeah,
the movement,
right.
but they realized how it had more of effect than they thought it was, right?
Right.
So it really was about the movement. If
Right.
it was genuine, Kaepernick would still have a job, right? They would have penalized the players for
It comes
protesting.
back to the job.
Okay,
you
so-
just want the boy to have
Right.
a job.
It's not about the
even-
job,
not even
guys.
that,
You
not
guys,
even
you
that.
can't
She's
advocate
looking at
for
a timing
something.
thing.
No, you
She
can't
wish it would've
advocate for
happened 3
social
years ago.
justice when the
takes
guy still doesn't
time.
have a job,
Anything
and then you're
takes time.
penalizing players to do it. It looks it's
Not
it's
even that.
hypocritical.
Not even that it takes time.
That's what
It's
people
like-
are mad about. They're not mad about the deal. They're mad.
But
Like,
even that doesn't make sense.
how does it not make
Because
sense, guys?
if you messed up 2 years ago and 3 years ago and 3 years later you're trying to fix where you messed up, how is that a bad thing?
I agree with that.
it
how can
take
that
you
be a
3
bad thing?
years.
But
It don't
you
matter
can't
how
And it got
argue-
stood. So
you
the
can't
first
argue on
you
a change
can't-
if they're
you
trying to make
can't
it.
It doesn't matter how
advocate-
long
You
it took. It
cannot
could've taken
advocate
10
for
years.
so. It's the
Yes, you
opposite. You
can.
can't do that.
Yes, you can.
You can't
It's trying to
advocate for
fix the
something,
problem.
but you're still maintaining it by not. He doesn't have a job. So the first
Even
thing
if
you
he
need to
got
talk about
signed
change.
today,
That's step one.
the issue would
Because we
still
wouldn't
be
even-
there.
but
It
we-
would still be a need for Jay-Z to do what he's about to do.
Jay-Z don't need
Fact.
to do anything. We're looking at Jay-Z to be our savior, like he's
He
Black
can,
Jesus.
though.
That
He
could
can,
you
though.
did not need to hire Jay-Z.
Who did
to
they
be,
need to hire then?
They have players that they instead of trying to penalize them, why not get these players and Kaepernick, who started the movement in first place, and make the same initiative change program
no
that you're
difference.
doing 3 years
There's no
later?
difference
difference in
This
getting
is
them
why
to
we said it's
Jay-Z.
about Jay-Z for
It's a
money,
big
because
difference.
it's a
It's a
business
big
move for
difference.
him.
There's
There's a big difference
How do you-
because
you-
this is the part y'all
what?
not looking at.
It's not.
Jay-Z is the person that they chose because of his influence in the entertainment side.
Nobody in the NFL has
Exactly.
There's
big
no
of
no
Because
football
Jay-Z was
player.
the one-
Listen.
Okay.
No football player you can come up with has the entertainment influence piece. He's coming to what
He
his
has an
leverage
entire
is.
entertainment label.
His leverage is management of artists.
Rock Nation.
His record
Why
label.
did they hire him to do that?
But
Because
that's
they
what I'm
have a
saying.
whack Super Bowl artist. So
but
they're
he,
not, that's
but
why
he
they
put
did
his
that.
fingers on the scale, and he was able to, I don't want to say bully, but he was able to influence other artists. You know,
So you're
put a
simply a
stigma
pawn
on them. No, I'm
to
saying
make more money for the
it's
NFL because the
leverage.
numbers are whack
No,
and the
it's
entertainment
leverage.
is whack.
Their numbers,
They understand that, Kay. That's why they hired him.
their
Because you had this
their
influence
numbers
in the
are not
industry.
whack. Their numbers have gone down within the urban community, but their numbers are not
And
whack.
then even they had people like who they had performing in the last 2 years.
Okay, I mean
Who cares?
that's been affected.
But
Yeah.
that's a big point of
But
why they
Jay-Z
hired
can
It's
help
not
with
Jay-Z.
that big of a
yes,
point,
and
though.
It's a
listen, he
huge part of-
leveraged.
yeah.
He
Now, you
leveraged
talk about a
this.
Super Bowl halftime show. There's
That's
an
the
entire
major
season
part of
and
why this
playoffs.
deal was even made.
There's an entire season and
The
playoffs.
Super
where people
Bowl's
like-
one day.
First of all, aside from that, their ratings look different now because less people have cable where they're watching. You got people streaming it. If you
Yep.
look at those ratings along with stuff, it hasn't changed that much.
I need to read y'all something.
I
It
agree.
hasn't changed that much. Aside from that, what I'm saying is, if the NFL realized where they went wrong and they are trying to fix a situation,
Y'all feel like the NFL
Yeah.
really realized their mistake.
Why
We're
else-
so
why-
for
why
social
would they hire
justice
him?
reform now.
it's the,
After 3 years.
First of all, as an
Y'all
owner,
crazy.
First of all, I mean, they literally hired Jay-Z to try to fix what you saying. Like in the case
what Jay-Z
you
gonna
saying,
do? That it could have been done already.
It don't matter if it could have been done already. If they're going to do
You
it,
are
they're going
such a
to do
woman.
it.
But listen, if you think about it, if we mess up in a relationship, right?
That's
You're like,
like-
okay, look, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna fix it now. You can be like, Why you
Nah,
didn't do it before?
yeah,
Why you
don't
ain't
try to
do it
fix it
last
now.
summer? You know,
Don't try to
I'm
fix it
gonna-
now
I'm
because
gonna
you didn't
change
try
it
to.
now. Yeah, you could have been did this. You could have been. I mean, we just
So
talking in circles.
don't
just
try to
do
fix it or
nothing.
do
Yeah.
try to fix it.
You know, they pick and choose when it's okay to
Aside
fix
from
something
that.
and make sure.
Aside from
But
that,
that's
do
the
you
whole
want them to
point.
not
You-
try to fix it, or do you want
We're
them to
not.
try to
I don't
fix
feel
it?
like it's genuine. Is what people are upset about. You
How?
can't not fix it when you're still maintaining the same role by blackballing the man who started the movement. That's
you know
what
he
we're
reached a settlement
saying.
with the NFL already.
Yes,
He
this
was
year
owed that money.
he got money this
He
year.
was
He
owed
wasn't
that.
owed
No,
that
I
owed
say
no
he was
money.
owed because they know they did wrong. So I'm gonna take the money too.
So if that's the case, then
Why is he
Why-
not
why
involved
reach
with
a
this?
settlement?
But
Care
why
about
is he
the
not
job.
involved with this movement, this project? Then,
He
if he
ain't
was the one who
Oh,
started
I
it,
hate
that's
when
my
people say
point.
that.
Huh?
Kaepernick's not. Every time he wants to
He
do
didn't
something with
even
the
know about
NFL,
the
we gotta
deal.
go clear with Kaepernick. He's
The
just a
point
player.
is, none of
He
this
ain't
will even
nobody.
be happening if it were not for Kaepernick, which is the point of the conversation.
Aaliyah, you said that Kaepernick was owed. Why was he owed?
because
you
they
do
knew
realize
that he blackballed him for
but the thing is-
exercising
no,
his
but
rights.
The thing is that he was already a free agent. I need you to
I'm not
understand
talking about
that
old
he
because
wasn't.
of his football contract. I'm talking about he was old because he was
He was
wrongfully
listen,
blackballed for exercising his amendment.
Right.
That's why he was
The
owed the
deal-
money.
All right, yeah,
The deal,
that.
the deal for the settlement
But
it
they
was
won
what you
that.
just said. No, the deal for the settlement was what you said. He had all of his legal team on it, and the NFL was like, he has enough proof that we
Yeah.
did blackball him.
Absolutely.
He had enough proof that we did blackball him so that he couldn't get another, or at least
Why
the
did they
owners.
blackball
At least
him?
the owners.
Why did they blackball him?
It's the owners. The owners decided, all as a collective, they didn't want to give him another contract. The NFL has to take the backlash for that.
Sure.
The NFL and the owners are different.
Different. We
They're
understand
separate.
that. Okay.
They're separate.
So
They're
what did
separate.
Roger Goodell do to?
Keep a pinpoint on the fact that the NFL and the owners are separate.
Sure.
The owners make the decision on whether or not Colin Kaepernick gets
Sure. But the
gets a
NFL did
contract.
not back Kaepernick in this movement, period.
NFL
And why are
can't
you
do
still
anything
penalizing?
about that.
Okay, fine. But why are you still penalizing players?
They're not.
They were.
They were, and then they stopped.
So now you about social justice reform, but you were still penalizing players. Now you want to be
What
about
do you want
it.
them to do? Not do anything about it? Continue to penalize them?
So the players taking. I'm so surprised that you're saying this. The players taking a knee.
Yeah.
That makes them heroes.
No one
So
ever said that
Jay-Z
make
is
them
saying we
heroes.
move past the knee and
And
let's
that's
get
another
some
thing
solutions.
people are mad about. Jay-Z,
don't
when
wanna
did
talk
you
about
kneel,
solutions.
pal?
You want to talk
He's not a
about
player.
he should be able to take a knee or not
Okay,
take
but he
a
ain't
knee.
how you gonna protest?
If he's trying to take action and do
The
something
protest
about the
is over.
situation,
Forget
are you
the
kneeling?
protest. Let's do solution now. So let's do solutions now.
What's your
Forget the
solution?
protest.
What's your
The
solution?
protest-
Actually,
Nobody
guys,
has
the
any solution.
real
They just
solution.
No one has
I
a
need y'all to
solution.
understand that the opposition. I hate to call. Sorry to our white Mixxers, but for the sake of the conversation, they will never share power. Period. They talking. Jay-Z got a seat at the table. He going to change from with. White, they're never going to share their power.
You got the
Period.
wrong
We don't have
attitude. That's the wrong
ownership. We
attitude.
don't
No,
have
forget that.
ownership.
Forget that.
Period. That's the only way to solution.
the
Black
wrong
people
attitude.
have to have ownership for
But
their
the
own
thing is,
stuff.
if
period.
Jay-Z's trying to have a solution, what is the problem for you?
What is the
Not even that. Not
solution?
even that. You
We
said-
don't even.
He
If
don't
you
have
don't.
a-
if-
Wait.
How do
3
you know
years?
he don't have a
Okay.
solution?
Okay.
Wait.
You thought kneeling was
What
what
is
else can
something
we do?
Jay-Z can do that nobody couldn't have done already is the
But
point.
how many years did you say you stopped watching football?
3.
Okay.
So 3
what is-
years now.
And
This
what,
is his
what
movement
action
started.
have you done since?
Okay, I'm not talking about me though. I can't. I'm very
Continue.
little.
Thank-
I
all right,
stopped watching
like I was
football.
saying,
I'm not
continue.
supporting that
Like I was-
organization
that-
though. That
that-
was enough.
My
Like I was
question
saying.
to you was,
We're all
what is your
talking about-
action?
I'm not supporting
Exactly.
No, that is my action.
No.
I'm not supporting the organization
But what
who
else are
doesn't
you
support
doing?
our
Okay,
movement.
what else
That's
are you
enough.
doing?
I'm not
So
putting
look.
money in their pockets. All I can do.
All right.
Okay, cool. So
What are
like-
you
so
doing?
like I
You're
was
still
just
watching
saying-
football. So what are you saying?
So like
I
I was-
know.
Bigger than football. If we talking about change
understand
and
this is bigger than
social
foot-
change and police brutality,
Okay.
football, pardon the pun, should not even be in the
We
mix.
understand it's bigger than
Because
football.
it's
NFL,
football.
the NFL is not responsible. Let's just put that out
Nor
there.
can they change anything
For that,
in,
I don't
in
think that's what
laws.
people are upset about. The point is,
don't
you
even know what
cannot
you're upset about.
advocate. I need y'all to hear me. You cannot advocate for social justice when you are still maintaining the same position, which is not anything, by keeping Cap out of a job.
Yes,
let me
you
go
That
back
is
to
the point
something
we're
I
trying
said
to
before.
say.
Yes, you can.
So
No,
let me
you
no,
can't.
listen.
That's you.
So
what
let
do
me
you-
go back to
what?
something that I said before.
Okay, go ahead.
You said they don't even have black ownership in the NFL, right?
No.
That's a bad thing.
It's
Right.
why we even going for the NFL? Why can't we create our
You
own
want a black league?
organization?
You want a Negro league?
Wasn't Master P doing his whole like?
No.
No.
Big
Aside from
organization?
that, that's a
We
great
don't have
idea. That's a great idea. It's something that would take
billions
So
of
long
dollars.
that happens.
Years.
Billions of dollars that we don't have.
We understand
And about
that.
50
that.
years.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
They
the
would be
real
in direct
solution.
competition
Unfortunately,
with the NFL that has like 60, almost 70 years on
Ahead of
them,
them.
ahead of them, which would be totally different. Aside from that,
aside from
a
that,
part
which
of
is
the
really
deal is an ownership stake.
Exactly.
Jay-Z's black, right?
what happened in
As they
Brooklyn
come.
when
Okay,
he got
cool.
ownership of
Aside
the
from that,
Brooklyn
aside-
Nets?
we
What
just
happened?
sidetracking. We
sold
sidetracking.
it.
No, because I'm
Yeah,
making a
no,
point. What did
sidetracking.
Jay Z
I'm
do
going-
for
I'm
Brooklyn?
I'm leading that to another. I'm leading that
Can you
to
let my
another
man
point.
Go
speak?
ahead. Go
I'm leading
ahead.
that to another point.
Okay.
Aside from that, the deal that Jay-Z has, like we said, it's an ownership stake. We realize the reach that Jay-Z has.
Yes.
Nobody else in the NFL has the reach Jay-Z has.
No.
That's why they picked Jay-Z.
Or entertainment.
Or entertainment.
entertainment.
The
That's
NFL.
not-
He not
the
done.
NFL is an entertainment league. People watch football for entertainment. No matter what,
Yes.
forget the NFL. People watch football. People watch NCAA. They watch high school. They watch little pee-wee football, whatever, because they like football.
Yep.
That's why the goal is to try to fix it to make people that like football not have to worry about the other bullshit to go along with the league so that they can watch football. This is simply the changes that you saying that you want. That's people mad at him for trying to make. It's changes that'll take some time, and this is the beginning part. This is like literally the beginning portion of those changes happening, and people are upset about that.
Well said.
And that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
They literally at the start line.
Understood. We want Kaepernick to have a contract. It's not up to the NFL for Kaepernick to get a contract. It's up to the owners of the teams, that
Which
are in the
Jay-Z's
NFL.
getting ready to be one. I just probably
Aside
Oh,
from
so
that.
what you think? So
I
Jay Z
think
now
they-
get
I think
ownership. He
that
gonna give Cap a
If it
job?
happens,
really
nobody
think
better
he
not have
do?
anything to say.
Yeah.
It's a foot in
why
the-
wouldn't he? Why
Jay-Z,
wouldn't he?
Jay-Z getting
I'm
part
watching.
ownership. Jay-Z getting part ownership is a closer step to that happening than anything. That's happened in the last 3 years.
That is so true. That is so
You
true.
really think?
Yes.
I know.
You
it.
know that
I
Cap
know
will
it.
get a job once Jay Z
No,
get
I
in.
didn't say that he
Okay,
would. I
which
said-
is what people are
I
upset
said
about.
It's a
biggest
closer
chance.
step
Yeah.
to that
If
happening
this was
than
such a
anything that's
brilliant
happened.
idea,
It's
this is-
up to the owners. We can't force an owner to give him
Why
a
didn't Jay
contract.
Z tell Kaepernick about this deal if he thought it was so
For
good?
one, he doesn't have to. For two, he said he would like to meet with Kaepernick the day that the deal came out.
He actually said they had a conversation. The conversation didn't go well.
When did he? Who? Jay-Z and Kaepernick?
Yeah.
I
His
didn't
girlfriend.
His
hear
girlfriend, yeah, I did
Yeah,
hear
she's
that.
the
because I
mouthpiece.
heard from 1,000 other different sources that they never spoke.
Yeah, they
that
said
was the
they
narrative.
spoke and it wasn't a good
I
conversation,
haven't.
we
I mean,
heard.
if they
He
have,
don't gotta
I'm
clear
gonna look
no
it up.
deal with no cap.
But my thing is this, because you keep mentioning, like, you act as if he owes Kaepernick, like he has to go to him before
I'm saying this. Why we say this? Because none of this would have taken place if Kaepernick never started this movement. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it happened.
So how is this man who started the movement not included in this project? That is the point we're trying to
He
make.
can be included
How
on
is he not
in the
included?
back end, but this is my thing. Is this?
He should have
All
been included.
no, he
3
should
years
not.
later,
They're
and
not
now you want to
partners.
be.
They're not partners.
That's my whole.
They're
That's
not
what I'm saying. So you
partners, though.
cannot be about
Yes, you
social
can.
justice when you're not. You're still maintaining the same position
Aaliyah.
you were 3 years ago.
Aaliyah,
How are
Kaepernick,
you have
you
to
want-
you have
you
to
want him to
understand
have
they're
a
not going to
job.
go to
That
a
shit
man
wasn't have a
that they
job.
just owed money to try to partner with them.
This
They
should
just
never
paid
went
him
there. Is the
$10
point we're
million.
trying to make. It should have
Like-
never been. If they were, that's my whole entire
You
point.
keep saying
Kitson.
if it, you,
No,
but your thing
no.
is you
If you
keep
were
saying
ever-
we
True.
would
if
not
you
be
were
here,
not,
but guess
if
what?
they
We
were
are here.
If they were
It's
supporting the
2019,
movement
Aaliyah.
in the first place,
I
they
need
would
you to
never
understand-
have to do a settlement.
But the thing is,
So now y'all all of a sudden y'all had an awakening. Oh, now we got to be about social. After 3 years, when you see your ratings and
not
everything
all of a
affected, now
sudden.
you got to be about it.
why do you keep thinking it's all of a sudden?
Because we would have seen this 3 years ago when it happened, and Kaepernick
How you
would
know
still
it's
had a
not been
job.
happening? You just said you weren't watching football. You don't know what's going
it
on.
Didn't happen. And if they were really,
How
if
do you
that's
know
what
it
we
didn't?
say,
But
it's just it's
what
not
didn't
genuine.
happen? What didn't happen?
If they were supporting the movement
They
in the
don't have to-
beginning,
they don't, because
Why are
when
we
you
talking
say the
about they
movement,
when we talking about
you
Jay?
say the movement, you
because
mean
forget
letting the
we're talking
players
about 3
kneel.
years ago.
She
Jay Z.
keep-
The
she-
point is,
you know she wanna keep-
Jay-Z
You want to get into
wouldn't-
something 3 years ago.
Not even Jay Z. Take Jay Z out of it. He would.
we talking about
That is the main point.
This I'm saying, including Kaepernick in this. That's what I'm talking about.
He probably
Half
ain't
the
even
people don't
upset.
even
He
know why
say
they
nothing.
upset. They just see Jay-Z in NFL, and it's like, oh.
I'm going to read what this one person said. So y'all can probably, because he kind of laid it out to what I'm trying to say. He said, well, the Super Bowl had its lowest rating in 10 years, mainly because black people wasn't watching. So here comes the NFL offering a supposed to be supportive, Colin, an offer to oversee the entertainment aspect of the halftime Super Bowl. The same man who denied performances for the event last year and advised other prominent black artists to not do the same, which is what you're right about. That's why they hired Jay-Z, because of his influence.
And it's good.
We know that.
But that's good.
For them.
It's good for everybody. It's good for everybody involved. It's good for it. This is going to be a good thing. You just don't see it yet, but this is going to be a good thing.
For
whom? The
NFL can't change that. We can't change it, but how are you still supporting the move? How are you still supporting? I want to finish
These
this.
things are changed at the polls. These things are changed with laws. It's not about the NFL. And people that don't want to get involved in their local politics, those are the loudest people who don't even understand.
We understand that, but how is we as black people still supporting an organization that doesn't support our movement? How are y'all still
watching
football?
Movement? The players being able to kneel.
Okay, well,
the players being able to kneel during the national anthem.
How are you
that's
penalizing
the
these people
but
to protest for this movement? Yes.
Why don't you have a movement against the politicians that make the laws?
We're not saying
your movement is against the entertainment.
We're not saying nay, but these players decided to kneel and protest wherever
because they dumb.
Why they gotta be dumb? Because they supporting it and be so happy to do it at work.
We need next steps. We can't. So you said kneeling for 3 years would have been a great movement. It would have been a crap movement because nothing would have happened. You need something. Now you need the next step.
Okay, Jay-Z and his actionable items. We're not disagreeing with what he said. I think his delivery kind of sucked a bit, but I understood what he was saying.
His delivery sucked. But
I do think it sucked because we're saying we're past kneeling. We know what he tried to make, but people saying you ain't kneeled. The fuck you mean? You past kneeling?
He's not a football player.
We know. I know what Jay-Z was trying to convey. I just think his delivery, his message was a little bit lost for some because of how he delivered.
I don't think it was really
he
lost.
supported the movement the whole time. He was very vocal about
You supported the movement until you made the deal.
I said no to the Super Bowl.
Last year
I don't need you.
Yeah,
they was like, you're right,
Dupree to not take a similar deal for you to turn around and make
Jermaine Dupri do what Jay-Z does?
No.
Because he doesn't have the cultural influence.
So why would you want Jermaine Dupri to take that deal?
He don't have the same. He don't pull the
why
same
would anybody
weight. We don't know what the deal was about.
It was the same deal.
Well, they said it was similar.
You don't even know what this deal's about.
We don't know, but our whole point is he sounds like a hypocrite for boycotting the NFL only turn around and make a deal with them. That's what people are upset about.
No,
but anyway.
Make sense, though.
What was I reading?
They acting like the deal is like on the NFL side, like to continue to be like, you know what, we not kneeling, we don't even care about this shit. That's not what it's about. It's literally not what it's about. Jay-Z wouldn't have taken a deal if that's what it was about.
What is it about?
I read to you what it was about.
No, we know what it's about. But what do y'all really think it's about? Because in my opinion, without actually about to read,
how can you question Jay-Z's integrity for social?
That's the main thing that I don't understand.
How can you question Jay?
Oh, because his track record.
Because it ain't Nas.
Nobody.
Because he ain't Nas.
Nobody.
You can question Nas. How can you?
No one's not taking away Jay-Z's social work.
With Jay-Z,
you kind of are. You kind of are.
No, we're not taking away. One doesn't have to do with the other.
Don't say you are.
I'm not, and other people are not taking away what he's done for the community. No one's not saying that. One does not have to do with the other. It's not mutually exclusive.
To not expect this to be a good thing is doing exactly what you're saying nobody's doing.
We're not. We're saying what he was hired for. What we're saying, we know that he has
to not expect this to be a good thing is the same
we know
thing.
he has an influence in the music industry. Obviously, he was
and
telling people
he's a legit humanitarian.
Even outside of music,
he's in the community. They do things. They put their money where their mouth is, and they don't publicize it all the time. How could you sit there and be a social advocate and question this man of all? You can question some people, but how you question him?
Jay-Z, I'm saying, how is the man who started the movement to bring about this deal for Jay-Z not be involved?
He's still trying to be a player, and he can't literally play both sides.
He's probably not going to be a player at this point in time. I think we already acknowledged that. But he could still be a part of this initiative change program. He could be a part of that. How come he's not a part of that?
He's not my partner. He's not Jay-Z's
He doesn't have to be Jay-Z partner. My point, if y'all initiating it now, why did y'all initiate it 3 years ago?
That man just got.
What you need Jay-Z to initiate it for?
Got a check, okay? He's got.
The point is, it
he
should
didn't
never
lose
even gotten that far.
He's good. So
That's
Aaliyah,
not the
you
point.
keep saying
That's not the
it
point.
shouldn't have gotten that far, but it got
No.
that
Not the point.
far. So we're here now.
So that's what
Yeah.
we're saying. We feel like this is why it's not a genuine deal, or it's really not
doesn't make
about what they're
sense, though.
trying to make it about.
I understood.
I
that.
think
And
they're
that-
making it
and I'm
about
saying
because
that doesn't
Jay-Z
make
has
sense.
a cultural influence and he's able to bring in
a
entertainment,
cultural
which will
influence,
bring more
a-
money for the NFL.
a-
That's
not
what I feel like
just-
this deal is about. It
not
has
just
nothing to do about this
entertainment,
social, all this other crap that they trying
she's more
to
so
make.
looking at entertainment, bro.
Because that's what
I
it's
don't-
about.
It's not just.
It's
Oh,
not.
Lord.
First of
So
all,
much bigger than that.
listen.
Oh, okay, sorry. Where was I?
hating.
He advised other prominent black artists to do the same, not for kneeling, but for social justice and people of color and police brutality. So what has the NFL done from last year to today about police brutality and injustice to persuade him to accept a role in entertainment of the Super Bowl involving in support of real issues? They have not done anything, right? We know
How do
that.
you know what is in the works? That's what I'm
They
saying.
were saying, what have they done?
How do you know what they've done?
What have they
We don't know what
done?
they've done.
They haven't done anything.
But I don't think they can really do anything as an entertainment brand.
You know why they haven't done anything? Like I said, if they
Because
were,
they don't make laws, maybe, and they're not judges, maybe that.
they said,
They
well,
gonna
he
say, "Look,
says,
if another police officer shoots somebody, then we're going to give a touchdown. What are they gonna do? What's there? That sounds so crazy.
Look, you already know if another incident like that where it's a white officer killing somebody black, they quick to say Jay-Z. What do you really you gonna try to blame Jay-Z? Y'all can't keep
who is blaming
blaming.
Jay-Z? Nobody's not blaming Jay-Z for anything. We're just saying,
People
how
are
is this
blaming
deal
You say this-
Jay-Z
why you
did?
take-
We're
no,
not
they
blaming
are.
Jay-Z
Right.
for nothing.
It's gonna
We're
it's
just
gonna happen
saying-
because they see
the
this
only
deal.
reason why he looked crazy because he was so vocal about boycotting the NFL. That's why he looked crazy. That's it.
because he was
Outside
with
of
the
Jay-Z,
movement.
outside
so
of Jay-Z,
question.
push him aside.
Question. You boycott you boycott the NFL, right?
Yeah.
And then what?
They don't got nothing else. They just want to be able to kneel
make
and
money.
boycott
Forever.
forever. That's all they want to do.
But
Not-
police,
Why would
police brutality is still
We're
Yeah,
going
just
not
on.
kneeling.
saying that the NFL is responsible for police brutality.
The
While we
NFL 's
were boycotting the NFL because they wasn't supporting the fact that Kaepernick was kneeling for that cause. That's why we was boycotting the NFL.
But
It
listen,
wasn't vocal about
Do
that.
you understand
They
that
tried to silence
Do you
it.
understand that he's not the only person that was kneeling, and there are other people that was kneeling that have jobs?
Like
other
Eric
people
Reed,
that
who had a
still
lot to
kneeling.
say about
But
it.
my
Y'all read
point-
what Eric
but
Reed
here's
had to
my
say
feeling.
about?
Yes.
I'll read.
He's
Okay,
a
that
hypocrite.
kind
You
of. So
wanna
you
talk
can
about
finish
hypocrite?
up and
But
read
Eric
that
Reed
instead
still
of this
has
person.
a job.
And
Good
he
for him,
plays.
as he
He
should.
plays on the team.
He still has to play. Granted, he we understand that, but he's
So
still kneeling,
is-
so he's still not.
But
He's still
how's that not?
acknowledging.
How's that them not supporting it if he has a job and he did the same thing?
because
Kaepernick did?
because they believe that Kaepernick was the one who actually started this.
No,
So they targeted
that's
him
not it.
already.
That's
So let's
not
target the guy that started it and not the other people that still do
Yeah,
it.
that's what they
And
did.
it's
That don't
very-
make sense,
And
but that's what they
Kaepernick is
did.
not saying nothing, and this guy is.
Saying something about what?
Reed is running his mouth.
About Kaepernick. Okay, just because he's not saying
You
nothing.
can't say
Some
on
people
one
are more
hand
vocal
that
than
because
others.
Kaepernick doesn't have a job, they're not supporting when they have somebody else who was
And then
right
he
with
signed-
him
then it's
and
Kaepernick-
is vocal and does have a job, and you
I think
can't have it
Kaepernick
both
signed the
ways. You
NDA,
gotta make a
right?
choice.
But
Which one is
Go
it?
ahead and read.
sure
Matter of
he
fact,
did.
it's even better to read what Eric Reed said.
Okay.
It's something similar to what the person I was
He's a
saying.
hypocrite.
How is he a hypocrite? Because he's still working?
Pull up what Eric.
I got
said.
it. I got.
Did
I'm
you
about to
read?
read
And
it.
did
I'm
y'all
about to
read what Sean?
I'm
Did
about
you?
to read it.
Okay, go ahead.
Who said?
Sean King
I'm
and
not
and
even.
Jamel Hill from ESPN. They had a lot
Formerly.
to
From
I'm sure they.
ESPN.
I'm sure they did. I got a lot of respect for Jamel Hill. Oppression. That's unjust, and where the NFL inserted itself into this. Agreed.
Agreed.
Now the NFL is championing social justice to cover their own systematic oppression in blackballing Colin. So we will fight to get Colin's job back as well. Emphasis on as well in my eyes. Jay-Z knowingly made a money move with the very people who've committed an injustice against Colin and is using social justice to smooth it over with the black community. That whole entire last sentence is where I think Eric Reed jumped off.
But that's the,
The cliff.
point. But
Yeah.
that is the
He
point.
jumped off the cliff.
You
The
can't
point
make a
is
deal with
everything
some.
before that.
No, but that's valid. He's
The
pretty
point-
much
the first-
saying
no.
like.
The first part was valid. The
first
second
part
okay,
is-
what
is-
part?
is-
Okay, please talk
his
about part that is not
hypocrisy.
valid.
Okay.
Other fact that he's still working.
Jay-Z
He's still
knowingly
working.
made a money move with the very people who've committed an injustice against Colin and is using social justice to smooth it over with the black community. For one, the black community is the community that was infected. That was
Facts.
affected. That's the community that you need to be trying to smooth it over with if you're the NFL.
No, what they're trying to say is now they're pretty much trying to cover it up and silencing the whole. We're still doing systemic oppression.
That's not what he
keeping
just said.
Kaepernick out of a job, but that's what he's trying to say. Which goes back to my point. You can't advocate for something which is still maintaining it.
Listen, if this
Cool.
if this
But that's why he
organization's so
said-
bad, why does he want to work?
So
Why does
listen.
he work there?
But listen.
Why does he want to work there?
Listen,
He
he
need to
said
work. That's still his job.
he said the
What
NFL
hell?
is championing social justice to cover that whatever. He said, so we will fight to get Colin's job back as well.
Yep.
AKA, we will do the things that they want Jay-Z to be doing, as well as also try to get Colin Kaepernick his job back.
You
That's
guys
their
really
solution,
think I
getting
think
his
you-
job.
He
That's all
he
wants.
said it. He said it. I just read it to you. He said it.
Because
That's
he
what he
should have
meant.
never lost his job in the first
We
place. But
understand
why
that.
he lost his
We
job
understand
is what
that.
they're trying to.
We understand.
Advocate
He was
for
not
now.
on a team. He was not
So-
on a
so
team.
don't
We
advocate
know he
for
was
it,
blackballed.
or
We
do
all agree
advocate
on that, right?
I
So
mean,
don't advocate for
Melo
that or
doesn't have a
do
job
advocate for
either.
Because
Okay?
Melo sucks.
That's
Like,
that's separate. That's
No, I'm
separate.
just saying,
Because
Melo
Melo
doesn't
don't
have
suck.
a job.
He
There's a lot of
definitely
athletes
doesn't.
that
No,
don't
but
have
we-
jobs.
You know she don't know sports, bro.
Well, Melo sucks. I'm just kidding. We all can agree that Colin was blackballed for protesting.
We know
We
that.
all know
Okay,
that.
all
Fact.
right. So
He
y'all
reached
talk
a
about he don't
settlement
have a
because
job,
of
he didn't
that.
have a contract.
He reached a
off
settlement
that.
because of that.
And,
Okay,
it's,
so
and
we
all
agree
that's
on that.
canceled out.
So if the NFL,
starting
my
at zero
whole
now.
point is, and what everybody else is saying,
Again,
is the
it's up to the
NFL
owners,
or
not
the
the
owners,
NFL.
whoever, all the involved.
Which Jay-Z's grade B1.
Oh my-
Keep going. Keep
I
going.
think you think this guy's gonna have like 100% ownership, with like he gonna really makes a difference.
I think that he could probably.
That's
What
the
did-
pessimistic
which-
part that I was
no,
saying.
it's
That I was
not,
talking
but
about.
let's be
You heard
real.
that, right?
Yeah.
What did he
You heard
do?
it, right?
It's like
What
you
did
think he gonna
do?
make a
They talked
difference.
about promising jobs in Brooklyn when he became. They built the Barclays Center. He had the 1%. What happened in Brooklyn?
The same thing that was happening in Brooklyn before anything happened with
But
Jay-Z.
that
He didn't make that come
increased
about. He
significantly
didn't make
after
that
the
come
Barclays Center was built. And then what?
It's
He ended up
that's Jay-Z's
selling
fault.
it.
There's
No, I'm
gentrification
not saying
in
it's
every
Jay-Z.
city in this country.
We sure know it happens
No,
in every city. But
Sound
we
like she's
saying-
trying to blame Jay-Z.
I'm not blaming Jay-Z, but I'm making the point that he thinks he's like Black Jesus. He's gonna make this big difference.
So what
That's what I'm
would you
saying.
prefer him to do? Nothing. It's
If
almost
Kaepernick,
like it's almost like people
Kaepernick
don't want
has
him
a
to do
job,
anything.
then it will all be good.
What
But it
can-
won't though. That's
I
the
know.
crazy part.
I know.
Jay-Z can do exactly what he's doing now outside the NFL. He didn't need to take a deal to do it.
The point is for the NFL. The NFL is like, we have a problem.
We have a problem.
All of
Why
the
do we have a
problem-
problem with the NFL? What's the reason
No.
why?
It's not a we have a problem.
We
with the
do.
NFL.
That's why we boycotted
do,
them.
But I'm speaking from the NFL's perspective. They're like, we have a problem for the way that we look and the way that the Colin Kaepernick situation was handled. Therefore, we need to remedy that.
We need
situation.
to hire Jay-Z when y'all could just y'all should never fire that man in the first
It's
place.
not a
That's-
y'all. It's
Or the owners
The
should never.
owners. You
But
have
the
to speak
NFL
with
was backing the owners
How is the NFL backing
because
the
they
owners?
never spoke against
But they
the
can't
owners.
speak on. They don't have no say so in
They
that.
they can certainly
They
have a say so.
don't.
They can. Roger Goodell did not speak against the owners, encouraging them to somebody
He
to hire
can't
Kaepernick.
do
He
that.
could do what the hell else he could speak on
Okay,
it.
look, we got.
So
we
we want
got.
Roger
the
Goodell to
NFL
say,
we
"Oh,
got
The
somebody pick him up."
NFL backs.
We got
the
22
owners.
shows here. We got 22 shows here. If one of the hosts from another show got kicked off their show, which has happened before, right?
Yeah.
And no other show here would pick them up, right? I'm like, look, I'm not going to advocate for them. If y'all don't like them, I mean, you pick them up, you don't. I can't make y'all show take some
We nobody
baggage
say
from
you
another
can't
team.
make you no
I
one
mean,
say
from
you can
another
make
show.
them do
You understand what I'm saying?
anything.
I
But
can't
the
make you do that.
the NFL not only did not speak out against the owners, they also penalized players for protesting. So you are showing us
You mean
that you are saying
the,
F our
the
movement.
owners
So F you.
penalized.
Showed
You
us
talking
that.
about Jerry Jones?
Yeah, that's the
And
point.
now they're showing us
So
that they're trying to fix what they
after
fucked
3
years.
years.
Yes,
No,
after 3
after
years.
3
After 3
years,
years.
y'all
Yes,
about
after 3
social.
years.
Okay.
Yes, after 3
All right.
years.
Well, I don't believe that they are.
Would you like the timing thing, and you keep putting
It is a
emphasis on
timing thing.
The fact that you keep putting emphasis on
I
the
mean, I
time,
feel like if they
it's
would have
almost
done
like
it after year one, then it wouldn't have been genuine.
I don't feel like it's genuine now.
Not even
I don't
that.
feel like it's genuine,
Not even
period,
that.
I think
because it
it's
should never
genuine.
happened.
Not even
You
that.
don't
It
fire
happened,
somebody
but
because they want to
understand that.
protest.
Get
What the
past
hell? Who
that.
does that?
He didn't get fired because
It
of
shouldn't have
protest.
happened,
And you
but it did.
penalize people on top of it.
It shouldn't have happened, but it did.
So that's why people are saying this deal is it's
But
not
that-
so much a Jay-Z, but the deal in the NFL or the owners are not genuine. They think about it as they need better entertainment. Jay-Z has leverage in the entertainment, obviously, because he was telling
So-
people to
so
boycott.
all of
So
this
now let's
is
hire
about a
Jay-Z.
halftime show for the
A
Super
lot
Bowl.
of it has to do with entertainment because as
It's
you see,
bigger
that's
than
the
that.
prominent
The
deal.
league is for
It is.
entertainment. We watch football for entertainment.
Mind you guys.
100%.
Just as
So,
much as
yeah.
you think that it's going to be more so focused on the halftime entertainment show,
It's bigger than that.
Jay-Z is really doing his thing behind closed doors. I just
And
need for
always
people
has.
to understand that. Like, it's not just They're just highlighting that part. You think Jay-Z's not going to be in their ears about other
No,
key
they're
factors?
actually hiring the initiative program part, but the entertainment, I feel, is the primary reason for this deal.
So
That's what I feel.
So by entertainment, what do you mean?
Well, that's how Jamal Hill said. Now Jay-Z is giving them free access to our entertainment culture, artists. All these people probably didn't get a chance to perform at the Super Bowl. Now they may have that access now.
Okay.
People going to
That's
back
a bad
in. We got
thing?
some hot.
That's a bad thing.
Who is it benefiting?
Everybody's gonna benefit.
Who?
Let's not act like Super Bowl parties don't still happen. Let's not act like people not in
I
the
feel-
club
I-
catching a bag because it's just, they perform at Super Bowl
I
party.
think my take
Or
on this,
football.
honestly,
Don't try to act, this football
my
thing
whole-
is gonna happen. We need to get it right, and everybody needs to be on the same page or close to it as possible.
How-
Because people are
I
gonna
still have to-
celebrate.
my biggest-
you didn't boycott. You might have boycotted watching football, but you were involved in some kind of way with the celebration of football.
No, I wasn't.
In your
No, I
life.
wasn't.
You ain't go to no club.
after this whole situation
You ain't been to no-
happened,
you ain't been to no
no,
club in
I
February?
haven't. Ever since this situation
You ain't been to
happened,
no party in February.
no.
You weren't watching TV.
I'm dead ass. Since this, I'm dead ass. Like I was a football
Did you
fan. I
eat
watched
any-
like
did you
every
eat
regular.
any macaroni, anything made by Kraft.
I know who eats Kraft macaroni, brother.
I'm just saying that their hands are in other things. The owners have
That
other
we're-
businesses.
that we're
There's no way
aware
that you
of.
weren't affected. That you didn't support some owners.
That you may be
business in
aware.
some kind of
Okay,
way.
we're not really aware of that
Oh,
consciously.
well,
My whole point is, I don't understand how
stay
black
woke
people
now,
can even.
sister.
First of all, the people who even watching football who had a lot to say about this really don't have no say so in it. So we just gonna X them out. But I do not understand how you and whoever else are still watching football. I don't understand that. I think that's why I feel so strongly about it. Did you stop watching football? Why did you
I
stop
haven't
watching?
watched, and my Bears were nice in that last season. I watched ESPN, so I still
Why'd
see
you
what's
stop
going
watching
on.
it?
Highlights.
I stopped watching it because of what they did to Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, we high five. We was
I mean,
battling
listen,
all day, but you
I
acting about
get
being
that
my
part,
friend.
but at
Okay.
the same time,
Did you start watching it after he took the
I
check?
didn't- I haven't
in
started watching
February
it.
when he
I
took
haven't
that
started
check
watching
because they
and
paid.
that's a good point.
You
that
need
I
to start
heard some
watching
people
because they
say.
took the check.
That's
And
a
I
good
didn't.
point I've heard some
If
people
you want
didn't.
to call him, if you want to call anybody doing business with them a sellout, then you got to call him something for taking the check.
He should take the check.
Dude,
He
but
was
some people-
wrongfully
listen,
fired.
listen,
He was
Some
not
people were saying he
fired.
shouldn't have taken the settlement. He
Some
should have
people say he
taken it
should
all
take
the
it
way
to
through
court.
so that
Yeah,
we can really
if he
get
believed-
justice.
If he thought that was
He didn't.
justice.
We didn't really get justice
Okay,
by
I
him taking
mean,
the
but,
settlement.
Kaepernick is not a hero. Kaepernick
No one
is
ever
a
said he-
symbol. He is a symbol. He's a symbol.
Sure,
and
we can never say he's a
kneeling
hero. You
is
think
a-
Jay-Z is?
I
Kneeling
won't take
is
anything
symbolic.
away from what, I won't take anything away from what Kaepernick did,
It's
but I also
symbolic.
don't think that Jay-Z doing this deal takes away anything from what Kaepernick did either.
I don't think so either.
I actually
but
think
I
it
feel
adds
like
to it.
it
I don't think
silenced it by him. I think he is. Like
No,
Jay-Z gonna hire
no,
him hired.
I mean,
I
I'm
never
saying-
said that he was.
No,
Okay,
I'm
well,
saying
yeah,
that
You keep
Jay-
saying y'all.
It's
I don't
just-
even
All
know.
right,
Jay-Z
I'm
taking
going-
it. I'm saying Jay-Z taking this deal increases the chances of him getting another job. If his,
In the
if
NFL?
I don't care if it
Why
went
can't-
from. I don't care if it went from 0%
Okay,
to 2%.
see.
It increased it.
Bring him into
Facts.
this social change thing program that Jay-Z's doing. If he do
That
that,
can
that's
happen.
He can do that. Listen,
Alright, cool.
when you
But my
said
whole
when you
point
said
is
that he
could have
spoke to
been
Hov,
initiated way before.
it couldn't
Why
have.
y'all waiting 3
It
years
couldn't
later
have.
to initiate
But
change?
even then, that's all beside. You can't get mad at that because that doesn't go back in time and fix this.
No,
that
we
doesn't do
understand
anything but
that,
complain
but the
about
point-
something
well-
that cannot be changed.
The point of why we're bringing it up because that's why we're saying we feel like it's not a genuine
And that's why I'm
deal.
saying that's not a good reason to think that.
Why
Because
is
you
it?
basically
It's a
saying,
good
oh,
reason.
I'm mad that y'all trying to fix it now instead of 3 years ago.
I don't think they're trying to fix it at all. And I don't think
But
many
they
people
are.
who
They
disagree
literally
are.
are.
I don't think
you
so.
couldn't
They
do
literally
this.
are. They
You
literally
couldn't do this
signed-
deal 3 years ago because the NFL
Aside
needed
from
to
that.
feel the sting first. They needed to see the impact of our community first. And that took 3 years for
Who
them to
the
feel it.
hell need to see the impact of our community? You
NFL
think
did.
them
The NFL
they
did.
dumb like that? No,
The
they
NFL
not.
did.
They not ignorant. Come on.
No, all these big companies.
They
are
turn a
ignorant.
blind eye and try to ignore it, but they
Gucci's
know what's
ignorant.
going on.
All those big companies are ignorant. You have to teach them
Y'all
respect.
giving these people a whole
No,
pass.
you gotta
listen,
respect the
listen.
punch first.
I'll break it down in a nutshell because we're working on like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
I'll break it down in a
Alright.
nutshell.
We need
It
to be
went
a good
from-
shop talk though.
Oh, they are great. Listen, I was ready for it.
I mean,
was
Carlton
ready for
barely
it,
got
too.
to talk because
No. Listen,
Your
listen.
ass.
I got it.
Sorry,
I
it's
got it.
passionate
like
about
you
it.
know
got it,
sports.
'cause
You
I
know
like-
sports today, huh?
Nah,
Kaepernick doesn't have a job.
Shut up.
He should be
Listen.
out there throwing touchdowns.
He should have a job. He should not be fired.
Nah, he
The hell?
should have.
He
should have.
should
Listen,
have a job,
to this
but-
day,
But I can
still-
respect that you ain't at least watch football.
No.
For that reason.
I can't even be in it. Like it's. I don't like these owners. Nobody likes these owners. The
At
NFL
all.
is probably the only sports league that has 0% black ownership, and that's a problem. That's why I said Jay-Z doing this for an ownership stake puts his foot in the door, and it's a
And we want
giant
to take
step
over.
forward.
We take over stuff.
It's a great step forward for us. We can't deny it. It went from 0% ownership to at least one black owner in any kind of way. That's a great
Well,
deal.
shout out for
listen,
Jay-Z. That's achievement for him.
Aside, and you can't do a deal like that without money involved. So for people to say he's doing it for money, you literally can't possibly do something like this for free. Nobody, anywhere, ever. Aside from that, it went from Colin Kaepernick sitting down during the anthem to a vet saying, you know what, that's offensive to us for these reasons, but I understand the reasons you're doing it for. You can still get that impact by kneeling. To him kneeling, to people saying, yo, we noticed you was kneeling during the anthem. Why are you doing it? To him saying why he was doing it. To other people being like, oh, we noticed why you doing it and we agree with that. To some people saying, I don't think this is the space for that because this is football. And people disagreeing with that. To Donald Trump and other people saying, making it about something totally different than what Colin Kaepernick was initially doing it for. From that, a lot of owners, it's like they clung on to what Trump was saying he was doing it for, which wasn't the real reason why he was doing it for, and used that as a way to blackball him. Then that was when the NFL as a business was like, okay, we damn near don't understand because they're all old white people too that's working with the NFL aside from the owners. And they were just like, oh, if this is the reason why he's doing it, then we have to come up with a solution for people to stop doing this because people are getting offended and they're going to not want to watch our league. And then people
and
like
who are they
us,
more concerned about?
No,
They're more concerned about all the audience who's disrespecting the flag.
Wait.
Okay.
They were, but that was once they turned it into that. People like us that knew the real reason why Kaepernick was doing it and why other people that were supporting him were doing it was trying to change the narrative back to being like, this is the real reason why Kaepernick was doing it. You can't change it to that. But that was why the NFL, once they realized that, they started to re-amend some of the punishments that they had for people doing that. Now they be like, okay, we don't even care about if they do it or not. The NFL and a lot of stations that air NFL games don't even televise the anthem anymore. So you might have somebody kneeling, we don't even see that anymore to know that. So that's when they come in and be like, okay, the NFL is like, we can't do much about the owners, but because we do commission this league, these owners at some point got to take heed. We need to take steps to show that we have like 75% of the players in the NFL are black. These, whether they would like to or not, these things that Kaepernick was advocating for, and the people that supported him were also advocating for, they're affected by this. So we gotta at least let it be known that we care for that. How do we do that? We don't know because we're old white people. Let's get somebody that does.
So hire Jay-Z.
Hire Jay-Z. It's not a bad thing to hire Jay-Z.
Of all the people they could have hired.
Of all the people they could have hired, Jay-Z is a great. You act like you don't know who Jay-Z is.
Okay.
And what Jay-Z stands for. We know that. Yes, they also could have hired Kaepernick, but they're not doing any less by hiring Jay-Z.
Okay, I will say
it's not a bad thing to hire either one. Yes,
you broke that down really good.
But look, aside from that too, to add to the other point, Jay-Z said that after the deal happened, before he had the press conference with Roger Goodell, and I think Robert Kraft was there, whoever else, he contacted Kaepernick to let him know, heads up, like, yo, I'm doing this deal with the joint because he was saying, like I said, he said that he wants to work with Kaepernick on this. How could he not? And he let Kaepernick know, like, this is about to be what happened, whatever. He didn't speak to him prior to that because he doesn't have to. The deal was between Jay-Z and Rock Nation and his people and Kaepernick. Afterwards, then you roll with them. And honestly, me, personally, I think that had the NFL and some other people known that he was trying to work with Kaepernick before the deal was even done, they might have pulled back out of the deal.
They would have.
Kind of
They
way.
would have.
So it's like,
from my understanding, Jay-Z and NFL have been talking about this deal for the past year.
They could have been.
That's what they
This
reported says
This
they
is
have
that
been.
kind. This is that kind of money where it do take that long.
Exactly. And the reason why
You're talking
I'm saying
about a lot
they
of
could have been, during that time, you still got to keep it under wraps because you don't want it to get soiled in any kind of way. You don't want nothing that needs to happen to not be able to happen because somebody leaked something or something happens, whatever. Because now that the deal is done and you give Jay-Z a certain power, it's like, oh, y'all gave me the power to do this, then I bring in Kaepernick and none of y'all can do about it because I got the power to do this. And I'm making something happen.
And that's why he shut down the JD thing because, like, if we
JD can't do
but
what
listen,
Jay-Z
saying we in
can do.
negotiations. Say we in negotiations,
Yeah.
and then on the side they throw something to Jermaine Dupri. It's just like it can mess up my deal, which is the real deal, and they can just lowball him, and he can't even do.
So essentially, think about yourself.
I mean,
that's what you could have still encouraged Jermaine Dupri to do it. We don't know what he could have done.
We do know. What we do know is that whatever JD could have done will not be of the caliber of what Jay-Z can do. That's
why Jay-Z say don't take the deal.
I
got more power than you.
I put it to you like this.
Essentially,
I put it to you like this. There are certain people in the world that can do certain things that other people can't do.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
No, but that's the whole point.
But I feel like you
that
still
comes along
don't
with that is
discourage
something that
somebody
just
else
comes
to do
along.
it because you feel like you can do a
But
better job,
yeah,
and then let him.
you do. Yeah, you do.
He can.
Because they could fuck that up.
All right,
And this is
I
something
will
that cannot
say
be fucked
this.
up. This isn't a personal attack on Jay-Z. This could look. This ain't that. This is like, yo, this is a very delicate situation, and you may not be the person to do this. If you try to be, you could make it worse than what it is. Let me handle that because I'm Hove and I can do that.
So what?
He
All
said
right.
it.
Right.
What a Hove say on H to the Izzo? I do this for my culture. Let them know what a nigga look like.
In a
when nigga
room,
in a
move-
roaster.
oh, God,
Show them how to
please
move in a
don't
room
say
full
that
of
line.
vultures.
Everybody's
the
been
industry
exhausting
shady and
that.
need to be taken over. He
Yeah.
said that was in 2001. After
Yo.
that, even in the music industry, he started to make deals to show people that, and he started to make changes. Now, because of that, we see artists getting better deals. We see artists in better
So,
situations.
see,
That
can I
that
say
was,
this?
That was in 2001. This is essentially the same thing in a different avenue.
Can I say if Jay-Z and No Change happens, can I say that Tupac, Nas, and Dame Dash was right about Jay?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Not an action
What do you
before
say?
then.
Thank you, sir.
When he said, just check Ether out.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, check that whole track out. You know exactly what he said. So we can say all them artists,
There's a
Tupac,
few of that came out.
because you know,
but
I
Tupac-
really want to know what
no.
Dame Dash thinks about this deal. Actually, I really want to
He
hear
I-
his
thinks
take
I
on
wish
it.
I had a
1,000.
piece of this.
I'm gonna keep it.
Let's
1,000.
end
I don't
outside
care
him
what
being
Dame
biased.
Dash got to say.
No, I know you're
Facts.
biased. Nah, you can't take away how Dame Dash, he being a businessman, kind of
I
taught Jay some
understand that.
stuff. So
She's talking about
I
boogie
you know what I'm
cookies.
saying? So we can't
Who's
take.
a
She's
better
talking about
businessman?
boogie cookies.
Who's a better businessman, Hov or Dame?
His son's cookies, yeah. Okay.
I mean, Jay, what will we know? I will if he
If he
actually
don't.
makes change.
If he don't,
If he does not,
If he does not, we can say all of the bad things. But if he does, every single person that says something,
Including
what my
myself.
niggas say about Chief Keef in the joint, I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers in the barbershop talking about Chief Keef. I'm on that type of time.
okay,
Hov.
bet.
Because if
Bet.
he do,
See, if we do,
because if
I'm
he
gonna be
do,
the first one to speak out on it and
if
say,
he-
yo, I was
if he
dead
do-
wrong,
Right, and that's cool. I can respect
and
that.
I can.
And
I can say
and
that.
she can say
I
that.
can take my L.
Hey, who mans is this?
Eat her up.
No,
got
it's
the right
not.
to
I can
change their
take my
mind.
L.
Nah, people got the right to change their mind, but I'm also
I ain't gonna change my
saying-
mind, but I'll take my L if I'm wrong.
I'm also saying that though, given Jay's track record,
Okay.
it's pessimistic to think that this will be a bad thing because
Okay.
we have more reason to believe that it'll be a good thing. That was my main point from the very beginning. All the other points was great argument points, and you know how I do. I'm gonna keep my ears to these streets and them clippers to them heads. And that was shop talk, man.
That
That was a great shop talk. I'm not
Let's
even going to
get
lie
to
to
it,
you, man. Listen, we're going to skip right through with Garage Jules Gears and Whose Mans Is This. I actually didn't have any for this week,
I didn't
surprisingly. But we're going to get some church announcements in before we close out. So this weekend, if you don't have any plans, and it will be nice. So, you know, my chapter, Beta chapter, and Brothers of Alpha chapter are throwing a cookout this weekend at Fort Lincoln Park. 12 p.m. until. So if you don't have any plans on Saturday, make sure you come, get some oil, some chicken, burgers, and all that good stuff and a good vibe. And then, of course, you know, there's Summer Barbecue pre-party at Park this Friday, so make sure you're there for that. And on Saturday, you got Dare DC Summer Barbecue from 4 to 11. So both events will be lit. I need y'all to understand. So if you don't have any plans, make sure you check out both those events this weekend. And also, turn your phones off Sunday. Power is back. Listen,
Oh yeah.
get ready.
No.
They say this is a big rich town. Listen, man, it's your big dog Kid 6. Shots House Finest, Carlton, your dig, and your girl Leah, and we out of here until next week. Yo, that was smooth how we did that.
Oh yeah.